What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are invading Louisville, Kentucky, and before we hit Louder Than Life Festival, we are here with one of Louisville's own. We are here with Intheclear. Thank you guys so much for your time today.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. We're excited about it.
Yeah, very excited here. As I told you before we started rolling, 9711 Lyric Lane plays a real important role in why I like heavy music, so it's an honor to be doing this with you guys today.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much, man. That's seriously cool.
Yeah. So we'll just get this question out of the way. You're doing this reunion show October 12th. Is this going to be the last Intheclear show, or could we maybe expecting you guys to continue on? I would love it if you guys could play in New York City.
We would love to play some more. I mean, I think at this point, this is probably the last one. But yeah, you never know, I guess. But to us, we never really had like a closing of that chapter for any of us, for that matter. We played a show last year, a quick 5-song set. That's what kind of sparked doing this. It was without Clay. And we have the original 9711 lineup for this show. And, maybe, I don't know. It would be cool to, but I just don't know.
I would love to do it, honestly. Unfortunately, there's some situations, within the guys in the group, with families and careers where it's difficult. Like, even this situation was like, wow, we can do it. Yeah. I would never... We're going to say last because most likely it is. However, I wouldn't put it out of the realm to not play, man, or play. I mean, it's just one of those things. I love to play music, so...
Never say never, though.
Exactly, dude.
I want to go back to the history of 9711 Lyric Lane because that record, what I found so unique about it was very experimental. Like a song like Dead Roses was very different from a song like Infectious, very different from a song like You're the Horse and Kiss It Goodbye. I just want to know, was there, going back to 2007 when you were making this record, were you guys intending to make an experimental record with 9711 Lyric Lane, or what was the thought process going into it?
You know what, man? No, not at all. I think when we got together and started writing those songs, they were just like that, man. They just came out like that. For instance, Dead Roses, we had Stem, our drummer, left the band for a little while, and we had one of our friends, a guy named Nick Haupt from a band from around here called Incursion 502, who's a very unique drummer, and he came up with that drum pattern, and it very much influenced how that song went. A song like Walter, that just came out when practiced. Lyrically, I believe I didn't even write it. It just literally the words came out as we were playing it.
Yeah, I was wondering what you guys were smoking when Walter came on.
Fucking all kinds of pot. We love marijuana. We love it.
Used to, technically.
Not me. Fuck everybody. I like smoking marijuana. But no, sincerely, there was no plan. I think for us, at our best, we have a vibe, and it's very much like a bond and a brotherhood. And when we're that, stuff just flows, man. And as long as we're bobbing our head and being like, oh, that's cool, dude, I dig that. Yeah. It just kind of was.
Yeah.
Those later songs like Infectious, You're the Horse, I wasn't a part of the writing process for Dead Roses or Walter. I came in the summer of 2005, and the EP was already out. Yeah. So I really think that every member that participated in this band had some influence on the songs. I think that's why there's an eclectic difference on that record. You can almost kind of tell the difference. If you knew us all collectively, you'd probably be able to identify that each member put his touch on the songs.
Mm-hmm. What I'm curious is because I also really loved this may be a question more directed towards you, but the lyrics to this song, I really you were telling me what Infectious is about and how that's a very personal song to you. Was maybe lyrics ever kind of did that help determine the outcome of the music, especially with a song like Kiss It Goodbye being a very melancholy track?
You know what? Lyrics always come second, for me at least. I write words based off a rhythm section. So my words always come from the heartbeat, the bass and the drums. And, the melody's always guitars, obviously. But sometimes, like I said, in Walter, the word just kind of came out. Other things, the words followed after I found the melodies in it. I love to just kind of freestyle into stuff and kind of see what sounds good in my head. And then I'll sit down and pen it and whatnot. Different songs come together quicker than others. I think Kiss It Goodbye, for example. It's very ironic that the last time we played is at Headliners because that story was about a moment in Headliners. Years ago with a certain person. But a lot of times, I don't tell people about what the lyrics mean.
Let's leave it open to interpretation.
Yeah, because you know what, man. Every song, as a fan of music, stuff means songs mean something to me that doesn't mean anything to anybody else. And I don't want to ruin that for somebody. I remember telling one of my friends about Drown, Corey Ogle, and he was like, just tell me. And I was like, I don't want to tell you, dude. And he goes, no, to be cool. And I told him, he's like, well, that sucks.
That sounds like him.
That sounds like him. So it's very much like, it's totally open to interpretation. I think the biggest thing lyrically about In the Clear is I believe we all experience darkness, but there's that end of the tunnel hope. Because, man, like all of us, I think we've all gone through our own darkness. And I still do, and I still find my way out of it. But they're very vulnerable lyrics. Like very... I'm not bullshitting about it. I'm telling them I'm very honest. And I think no matter what, if you write words that are very honest and vulnerable, no matter what anyone can believe... because they know what it feels like, and those, I mean, I don't know. I just write what I feel. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't.
There you go. What I'm also curious about with this record is because, like, it's just like the musical aspects of it too. Like, when like that guitar riff in Infectious, you wouldn't hear that anywhere else. And then like the intro to Transpose, and then a song like I thought Drown was very heavy, but when it came to the musical aspects of it, how did you approach it? Did you have to lay down rhythm first, or was there a melody that you revolved around it?
We were the band that got in the practice room and we jammed. Like, rarely did somebody come in and go, I got this riff. Like, we would go in there and we would jam in Stem's Basement at 9711 Lear Lane.
Yep.
That's where we practiced, was there. And we wrote those songs in that basement.
Yeah, dude.
And it was an organic experience. It turned out later in the band's like life cycle that became sort of a problem, because we had grown out of that let's just jam mentality and started to get more technical. And I'll send you that record, that second record, you'll be able to tell by the music. But yeah, it was organic.
That's amazing. And the way you were telling me about the album artwork too, how it was like very like abstracted. It almost seems like everything with this was organic in a way, right?
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, yeah.
Completely and totally everything, man. Like, it really was always from the heart. No matter what, dude. It was just heartfelt. And I think that was the biggest thing about us as a unit, was that passion. We're just a bunch of passionate kids. We love rocking out with each other. Like, we love being around each other. And then at one point we didn't. And so,
what? I never found anything like this band after. Like, even like my ability to perform on stage with other bands, I never could grasp that same energy and dedication and like want to perform in front of a crowd like I did with this band. And it's still to this day, I can't, just something about this band and this group, these members, and those songs, like that's why I've been so hell-bent on wanting to do this. Like, it's something that I just couldn't experience with anybody else.
Now that the record is 12 years old, again, I was just finishing.
I'm not that old,
I
guys.
was in 7th grade when this record came out. So, do you look at this record now with like a different perspective? Like, do you look at this record differently now than when you first put it out and you were touring on it and everything like that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say if we didn't, we're just standing in place in the world. Like, you have to have a different perception, man. I mean, as you grow as a person, you're gonna go through experiences, and those things will mold your life and change forever. So yeah, it's like I mean, I guess it's almost like looking back at a yearbook that's got a pulse.
And a blind side?
Meow. Meow.
See what I did there?
Yes, yeah, I like it. But but no, for real. I mean, yeah, it's like that. But at the same time, man, like, even when we play it now, it doesn't feel old.
Yeah.
Like, it still feels like brand new energy almost. Like, I think that's one of the things that I was nervous about. Like, man, do we still have that energy? Everyone's giving me shit. They're like, you better sound good, dude. I'm like, fuck you all. Here we go. But the reality of it is fucking fuck you.
Sorry about you.
The reality of it is we still have that energy, man.
There you go.
And that's what's the most important thing. And
Feels like no time has passed.
yes, but you also got to remember, okay, so you've never seen us live. You've only heard us on tape or CD or whatever the fuck.
iTunes. I'm an old school
There
guy.
you go. God damn it. So you're really talking about you've only seen half of what Intheclear really is.
Yeah.
The other half is that crowd.
I would say like a third.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean,
man.
like honestly, like our live performance. I'm not saying like we're the best live band ever, but to us as a
yeah,
group,
we are.
like we huddled up before every show, no matter if we played for open for Stained or we played a festival. Like our mission was to get together and destroy anybody that we played with, and we went out and guitar flipped and jumped and fell over and screamed and
broke shit.
I mean,
fucking, it was like going to war. It's like going to war with your buddies.
Yeah.
Man. Like we like every show get in a huddle. Like we're here to fucking change the world with our music and fuck shit up.
Yeah. I saw that intro or like that trailer for like the show reunion announcement, and I saw like that huddle in it.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
That was every show. No matter what, we got in a huddle, and it was, that was our thing, man. Like, it really was. It is, man. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Like that, but that live experience with us is a big part of Intheclear. Like, the people that are fans are more than fans, man. They really became another family to us. Especially, there's people we talk to weekly now, daily, that are because of that band, and I mean, I still, there's moments where I talk to people that we've had experiences together with the music, whether they are a fan or another musician, whatever, that can never change. And I think only people that will get it is people that have the goosebumps with music, man.
Well, one thing I kind of forgot to mention talking about it, like, there's a lot of albums that I always listen to front to back, and, I always enjoy. But with 9711 Lyric Lane, one reason why I really enjoyed it is because I've listened to it now for 7 years, constantly, and I always discover something new with it. Whether it's in the music or I understand the lyrics a little bit more, there's always something with 9711 Lyric Lane that I discover. Like,
there's hidden gems in there.
Yeah.
There's like little Easter eggs.
Yeah. It's like an Easter egg in a video game.
Well, like learn the songs again. It was weird you say that because I was listening to some of the songs and the stuff that I recorded, and like I was practicing. I'm like, I don't remember that. That's new. What is that?
I'll totally, dude. Like there's I'll give a couple of Easter eggs away just because at this point, who gives a fuck? Drown, for instance. There's one part like in the lyrics where in the background I say "fuck everybody," but it sounds really like I'm constantly kidding, fuck everybody, and it's like, but it's just enough back there. But if you're headphoned in it, you're like, dude, I think he just told me to go fuck myself, like that.
I gotta look for that.
Or in Transpose. In the beginning of Transpose, we were recorded in Malcolm's hometown in Portersville, Missouri, and there's a fucking train track right next to the studio, and like right before the fucking the lyrics start, you hear
Yeah.
that's the train going by.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a train.
It's a train going by, and
Fuck it, keep the tape.
Yeah,
fuck it,
totally.
fuck the train.
Fuck the train, dude. It's like it so made sense. I was like, keep that in there, dude. That sounds way cool.
We did stuff on that record in that studio. Like, there's some guitar parts in Long Faces where we had the guitar cabinet at the very top of like a 20 stair, like a flight of stairs, and the microphone was at the very bottom.
Oh, wow.
And like, there's a part in, I believe it's Love Chinese Style at the end. There's this noise, and it's a little ring around this little pole.
It was a ring, yeah. He used
Yeah.
a ring on his hand and just spun it. One ring to rule them all. like one of those moments.
There's all kinds of stuff like that. If you ever want to, we'll map it out for you.
Like,
one day.
yeah, totally. Like there are things in there like it's fucking so funny that we're talking about it because I really never thought we would get to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, it's an honor to hear.
well, no, thank you, man.
Dude, it's an honor to be here with you.
It really is, dude. Like, we had an interview the other day on a podcast, and I think it was the first one I've done with these guys in like, 12, fucking 15 years or whatever.
10
something
years,
like
yeah.
that. And so this is very, I mean, I feel like yeah, man, but I feel like a kid in a candy store, like, dude, we're rocking out again, blah, blah, blah. But
You'll be back. You got to make up to and come back to New York City, being that your last show technically got shot up.
We have a group of people in New York City area that would love
That would love us,
that
dude.
would love
Like,
that. Rich Jordine, like, and his family, who always took care of us while we were there. They're in Trenton, New Jersey, and their kids are all grown now. We used to go there, and their kids were like young, and they would just be so flabbergasted that we were staying at their house.
Michael gets a hold of me on Instagram all the time, and
he's
he's asking me for lyrics and stuff. I'm like, I'm trying to remember, buddy.
We would love that. If we can do like a one-off, man, that'd be where I'd want to do it. I'd want to do one there and one in St. Louis.
I'll book it for you guys.
Hey, dude, honestly, if you get the
I'll
whole
pay you.
band,
I'll pay you in shots.
Hey, done.
Well, then you better have a.
You better have a lot of
you
shots.
better have a lot of
dude.
shots.
Oh, at the metal bars.
We're good at it.
Oh,
Dude, we're Kentucky boys. Y'all don't realize this, but we make bourbon here, and our bars are open till 4. You know,
our bars are open till 4 too.
Well, I know New York's like one of the only other spots, so you might get to hang. No, I'm saying no, but we're for real. We're fun to be around. We like talking to people and having fun. We're not a bunch of assholes.
There you go.
At least to you guys.
And the final question I want to ask you is being from Louisville, Kentucky. You know, this is my first time here, and I'm curious to, was there like a metal scene that you guys were affiliated with? In New York City, we have the hardcore scene and, all that stuff. And, Seattle has grunge. Was there like a scene in Kentucky that Intheclear was playing out at? Or did you guys just want to get the hell out of Louisville and kind of get your name out there more?
I mean, go ahead. There you go.
Dude, they're honestly, okay, so I'm the oldest out of the group. But even when I was a kid, as a teenager, I started playing here. There was a huge punk scene here and hardcore scene. And it very much related with Chicago a lot because Albini's there. What's his name? Steve Albini, who did Nirvana. I think he did the first Nirvana. Anyways, he did a bunch of Louisville bands. And then even Dave Grohl, one of his favorite bands growing up, he actually brought Peter Searcy up on stage last time he was here because Peter was in a band called Squirrel Bait from Louisville. And there's always been this, like, we're the next thing on the brink since I was a kid, and it's gone like up and down. Right now the scene's kind of small because, I believe no one promotes it like it should be. However, there's always been a great music scene here, and then it morphs always into different music. But when we were around, yes, there was a fucking huge energy, a great scene. Everyone worked their asses off. There's a lot of talent. But, we're also talking about a town where, Days of the New, Tantric.
Tantric is from here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flaw.
Knox Loose is from
Knock
Loose,
from here.
yeah,
and
those
I hear
guys are
boys
killer, dude.
Fucking crushing it.
Yep.
Fucking A, go Knock Loose.
Artifacts Preo.
Artifacts, fucking bad as fuck.
I'm surprised Tantric is from here. I did not
Oh
know.
yeah, and then you're also talking about like My Morning Jacket.
Oh really?
And those guys are fucking world-renowned. Fucking, I mean, they're still selling out fucking stadiums and shit.
Yeah. The only 3 bands I knew was you guys, Flaw, and Knocked Loose.
Yeah.
No, there's quite a bit of talent that's come from Louisville, or even now, dude. Like, there's dudes from Louisville that are playing in your favorite band you didn't know were from here.
There was a time in Louisville, back in like 2000, 2001, where, Flaw got picked up, Outspoken got picked up, Days was still kicking pretty hard. Mm-hmm. And when we kind of came into our own, in April or March of 2004, we played our first our first headlining show at Headliners. Mm-hmm. We put on our first show there, which turned out to be the first of many that became our home away from home. And we had these 2 other bands with us, Kinsey and Sabrosa, which were both phenomenal bands, and we're still great friends with all those guys. And they actually ended up kind of merging into a band called Artifacts Preo. They're on Tooth and Nail. I highly suggest you check them out. They were very talented.
One of the best bands come out of this town as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and we made that like a trio. Like, we decided, hey, every show we play, we're going to bring an out-of-town band, like Dear Enemy from Atlanta or the Absolution Project from upstate New York.
I've heard of the Absolution.
Yeah, man, those guys are great.
But even Greenwell and St. Louis, they kind of put us on,
But we started our own, we can call it a clique, but you know what, it worked. And we did good things, and we met great friends through all that. And that, I said in the other interview of the night, when that ended, to me, the scene sort of just kind of took a face dive. and Louisville really hasn't been the same since.
Well, I've always said it's kind of like, when a plane is like descending, when it descends hard enough, it always picks back up. So I feel like that's kind of like that with the scene.
I believe that is the case. Like I said, it's always had its ups and downs and its dips and whatnot, but ultimately there's always something. There's some kind of talent always coming from here. Right now, it's a kid named Jack Harlow. He's this kid that's, I think he just turned 20 or 21, but he went to high school here. Fucking everyone says he's like a little white nerdy guy with curly hair, but the motherfucker can get down, dude. And I think some subsidiary off Atlantic picked him up, and like he actually on his Instagram today was in Times Square with his picture up everywhere, and I was like, there you go, man. So no matter what, there's some kind of vibe in this city. Now, depending on how you work at it is how your scene's going to be. We worked hard. Like, we just weren't like, oh, yeah, we're a great band, blah, blah, blah. We didn't think like that.
Yeah, you walked the walk, you didn't talk.
Well, we went out and we promoted, man. Like, we're like, dude, fucking, we need to go get people to show, tickets. Like, we were basically promoters, that just happened to play music. I mean, really. No one does anymore. Everyone just relies on social media. I think that goes worldwide. Everyone just expects you to be there because you're great. Yeah. You're not.
When 9711 Lyric Lane first came out, like, Facebook was just kind of like a thing at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, we were MySpace big. Okay, how about that?
We were a MySpace band.
You want to feel old? MySpace is before my time.
Oh, dude.
Ugh.
No,
It's
hey,
okay.
man, no, but for real, like MySpace, I think on MySpace, Infectious was like at 500,000 plays or some shit like that when it was like, in that transition of Facebook. But you know what? Like, we didn't rely on those things. And I think everyone relies on that now. Like, what was I seeing I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast and talking about how fucking he was interviewing some dude from the Army talking about how they can't recruit anybody anymore because all anybody does is stay inside and fucking stay on their phone or play video games. So no one passes any kind of like test to get in the Army. They can't find anybody.
Do you know how many people I know join the Army because of Call of Duty?
Yo, no, totally. But like in the same kind of like, headspace, everyone is like right here, dude. Everyone's right here. We're all fucking zombies. And I think we were right at the end of something special where you didn't fucking have your phone out. You fucking watched a show and loved music. Like I just saw Tool play. And he fucking basically made everyone put their phone away.
It was like that at a Perfect Circle.
Right. And you know what? Before I got in there, everyone was bitching. Like, I can't believe what a pretentious fuck, blah, blah, blah. And it was the best fucking thing ever.
Yep.
It was the best thing ever because everyone fucking was involved in the music.
Of course. So before we go, again, I want to thank you guys so much. Looking forward to watching you guys practice. Is there just anything else? I mean, the show is October 12th. Where is it again?
It's at Headliners in Louisville, Kentucky. I think we're going to be playing with a band called Elephant Room, another band called A Line Named Roar, $10, all ages. No one does that anymore either. But the only thing I'd want to say is, I love these guys, and hopefully that music can live on for a long time. And thank you to everyone who ever loved it, including yourself. That seriously means a lot, man. And that's all I can say.
Thank you. It means a lot to talk to you guys.
Just to have you come and do this and reach out to us, and we're just 5 dudes, and just to know that somebody from New York in 2012, iTunes recommended our album to you, and that you're here interviewing us, and man, it's special. That proves like this band, that record is special, and I don't care if it's a group of 12 or a group of 12,000. Like to me, it'll always be that way. So thank you for doing this for us, man. We appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Everybody, we are here with In the Clear. Be sure to pick up 9711 Lyric Lane if you never checked it out before. And if you're in Louisville, Kentucky, catch them at Headliners Pub October 12th. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.
Peace.